I don't know if I have just too much shit open. Hold on. Ugh, annoying. Smitty, are you there? Yeah.
I got you though.
Yeah, it was too long.
my eyes were starting to water.
I was about to restart. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Players Meeting, a Win Dummies production powered by the ACDGC and the KDGA. I'm your host, Lucas Steele, and this is episode number 61. This week, we'll take a quick look across the pond at the Konopiście Open. We'll share our thoughts on some of the action there. Then it's back stateside to preview the next stop on the DGPT, which will be the Northwest Championship. And finally, we're checking in on yours and our early season picks. Who's trending up, who's falling off, and which of us might actually look like a genius by the end of the year. This is the Players Meeting, where scorecards end and opinions begin. And if you have not, please subscribe to the Disc and Deals Coverage YouTube channel. That's where you can see all of these podcasts. You can also watch some of our tournament coverage. Ring that bell for notifications so you never miss a single one, and make sure you comment. But without further ado, let's bring in the real star of the show, the one-time world champ, Chris Smith, a.k.a. Smitty. Smitty, what's up, my man?
Haven't been outside yet today.
Is that right?
Raining.
Oh, it is raining. And you melt.
I've been in the garage, but I haven't been outside running around.
Yeah, so, well...
I'm glad I'm not in Cottonwood Falls. That has to be terrible.
Yeah, that did not look like it would have been a good time. But shout out to Disc and Deals sponsor Keenan Ford, who pushed into a playoff, but inevitably lost there, unfortunately, on the very first playoff hole. But he had a pretty good couple tournaments this weekend. Smitty, did you get any tournament action? Tell us.
Of course I did. Got up early yesterday, which was Saturday. Drove to Miltonville, left about 30 minutes later than I should have. Got there, was scrambling. Somebody beat me to the course. That never happens. But yeah, ended up getting win number 9-7.
Congratulations. That was the first time I'd seen that place, and I cannot wait to get the coverage out for people to see how obnoxious that place really is.
It's got some crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
But Damon does a lot of work there, and I think it's pretty cool that we filled it up and then ended up 3 people not showing, but pretty awesome.
Yeah, broke a record for attendance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super, super cool. And little funky little place. We went downtown for lunch, and yeah, it's just a real old country town, and it was fun, though. We really enjoyed it, and the crew all got to be there recording, and we got some new people on coverage. So can't wait to show everyone that. But yes, Smitty, because we were busy doing that, and because this was in Europe, I didn't really watch any of this good disc golf action that was happening this weekend. But let's get into it, shall we?
I've watched some of it. It was actually pretty easy to watch today. It was on when you woke up.
Yeah,
well, when I woke up, you probably slept through it.
I did. Well, Smitty, before we jump in, let's start where we always start. What's popping? What's been happening around the world of disc golf? And this weekend is the Konopiście Open. Smitty, tell me what you saw. This is really going to be you talking about it. I looked at some scores, and that's about all I got to see.
Yeah, it's if you watched any of the coverage, you're familiar with the track. You've seen it before. It's a lot different than disc golf here in the U.S. It was more than throwing a disc 1,000 miles and making a putt. These guys were shaping shots, and the weather wasn't very friendly to them. It rained today on and off, and little bit breezy, but yeah, dude, there was some great disc golf there to watch. It wasn't we didn't have any of the big 5 or 6 except for little Nick. So yeah, it was good to watch. We'll look and see how it shook out.
Yeah, let's take a look at those results.
Let's do it. Well, there's our champions, Kristen, which is hard to believe that she could beat everybody in the field every single time. No, that's not a surprise by any means, but looky there at the champion of the men's, Mauri Villeman. This dude was crazy today, Lucas.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I saw his rounds. I saw he shot 40 under, Smitty, in 3 rounds. That's pretty disgusting.
Was making so many putts today and throwing the frisbee so awesome. Yeah, he was good. The commentators did say that they thought he might be the favorite to win Worlds and the European Open.
Whoa, that's high praise.
Yeah, probably not happening.
Yeah, they need to settle down. There was hardly any Americans there.
Oh, there was some Americans there.
There were some, but not a ton.
We'll look at them a little bit, but let's start with the ladies like we always do.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of see what shook out there.
Yeah, no American ladies there.
Not a single one. Not a single one. But you can see that we had Kristen get a 4-stroke win over Silva, but Silva had the hotter final round. The names that we know that we hear about Onneken, who got 6th, and then Katie Tate, we hear about her. Other than that, I haven't heard of any of these gals at all. Have you?
Yeah. I think we've heard Rachel Turton.
Okay, maybe so.
And then I think the last one on that list, Kaide Alsalu, I think she had one good tournament. But other than that, yeah, these women are definitely people I don't know. Yeah,
they're probably great disc golfers. They just don't get to travel the world and play all the big tournaments like the lucky few do. But after the first round, Rachel Turton had a 3-stroke lead over Kristen, and then there was Nicole something was in between the two of them.
Yeah, and she didn't even finish top 10.
No. Second round, Kristen asserted her dominance and shot an 11 down, went straight to the top with a 5-stroke lead over the field. Come down this last round, Kristen shot a 10-11 rated round. Coming down the final round, Silva was doing what she does, man. She was throwing it close enough to make putts, and she was putting really, really, really well. She shot a 12 down with 1 bogey in the middle of the course. So,
wow, yeah, that's really good round. What did that rate?
10-12.
10-12, yeah.
Now I watched a little bit of it. It was on at 3 a.m, so I kind of tried to watch, and then I did catch the last couple of holes to because I wanted to see in case anything crazy went down. But yeah, so. It's all out there on post-production. You can find it and watch it if you're interested. But this was a show, man. This dude was killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it. And lots of them were killing it. Lowry Lettinen was killing it. Mm-hmm. That guy has maybe the sweetest form I've seen. Backhand form was just nasty. And then, I mean, we know Vino. Vino comes over to the U.S. once in a while. He was 4th. Dennis Augustine had a really hot second round. He was just murdering it. What did he shoot that second round? He shot a 12 the second round. Oh, my gosh. Mauri Villeman shot a 14 the second round.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that's the one I saw that I was like, ooh.
Yeah, 1071 rated. His for the tournament, Mauri went 1067 average for the event. And, dude, his putting was ridiculous. Let's look at this last round. Let's see how long he threw them in from. He threw them in from 42, 45, and then just a bunch in the 24 to like 32 range.
Wow. He's an MVP guy?
He is now. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how long he's been on that, but he was definitely sporting their stuff. So, hey man, let's look at USA.
Hold on. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to. So Lil Nick there, 7th.
Oh,
I was going to say that's surprising. He was the odds-on favorite for us to win it.
yeah, and he was not having fun. And if you watched it, you see some uncharacteristic little Nick actions on the course. He was mad. You can visibly see that he was upset. He got scolded by an official for excessive time, but not warned. They just told him he had to pick up the pace after he was struggling. So that didn't go over so great for him either, I wouldn't assume. They just called in from the broadcast. They didn't show that actually going down. But yeah, dude, little Nick was not having a good day.
I wonder if he puts more pressure on himself when he's back home, or at least, I mean, he's not necessarily home because that one's in the Czech Republic, right?
Right.
But still, I mean, closer to home than America. And then I also want to shout out, look at that, Silver Lot. Tied for 7th. That's a name we know because of Kristen, but he's not usually up there in the top 10, so congrats to him too. But yeah. Okay, Smitty, USA time?
USA. All right. Not a great showing for us.
Gosh.
Not great.
Oh, man. Guy, is that Hacksaw?
Yeah, that's Hacksaw Jim Duggan. James Conrad was our top dude at 20 down, 29th place. So, I mean, and we haven't seen James on any coverage or even heard his name much this year.
Nope.
So, but he led the U.S. pack. And then we had Yuli and Ezra, one stroke behind him, but 34th place. The scores were really tight except for the top dog. And then Clay Edwards, Eli Swanson, Eric Oakley, 74th place. That's an expensive trip to get your butt kicked.
Yeah.
And then Tyler Schrock was T99 at 3 over.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, Smitty, there's this dude named Anson who bet me $5 that Yuli would win. I absolutely took that bet. And thank you so much for the money, Anson.
Yeah. He'll pay. He's a good dude. He'll pay you up instantly.
Yeah, just bad better. Good
betting
dude.
Betting with his heart.
That's right.
Betting with his heart. So, yeah, dude, like you said, I just watched the last round. I didn't catch any of the first 2 rounds. I was busy doing other things, so not super informed on it. But what I saw today, man, Mari Billman looked good. And those guys aren't wrong. If he's playing like that when it comes to Worlds and European Open, he'll be in the mix for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
I just think it's a little bit different when you have some of those top dogs. Just their presence alone can shake some people sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just wondering that when some of these older established pros, the Rickies and the Pauls and guys in that era, when they're done, I don't think that the European contention is too far behind the U.S. contention. I mean, we still have Gannon and we have AB, Isaac Robinson, but after those guys, these Euros are going to probably be mixing it up right with us. Or when AB and Gannon, which they're like, what, 22 and 18? When they're done, I mean, I think the Euros are starting to make a move. Lucas, should we move on to the Northwest Disc Golf Championships?
Yeah. I'll say I'm pretty excited about this, Smitty.
Yeah, this is a course that you and I both, courses,
yes,
that the two of us really love and enjoy. Got Glenn DeVere there on the left with the manicured fairways and the rolling hills and the huge monstrous trees. And then we got the old boy Milo MacGyver there on the right with the uncut, a little bit rougher look. Yeah, this is going to be fantastic.
Smitty, this is one I'm going to try to watch. I'm going to try to take in all the action this coming week because this is a good one. The unfortunate thing is I'm not going to be able to because I'm going to be recording my own. But every night I'm going to try to get caught up and watch this stuff. I just won't be able to watch it live.
Yeah, you can catch a lot of it on the highlights or on the next day. Watch it a little bit quicker. So, and I'm going to be so busy. I'm not going to be able to sit down and watch it the way I want to. So I'll be watching it at nighttime also.
Yeah, well, Smitty, when we're talking Northwest Disc Golf Championship, this is the next on our list. Are you ready? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? The tournament schedule. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, but I thought before we jump into what you're thinking about that I'm thinking about, we should look at the schedule a little bit so we kind of know which days, which course are you more excited for? If you had to pick one.
I think I prefer Glendoveer.
Glendoveer's fun, but I love some of the shots on Milo, some of the, extra punishing rough and things like that. So yeah, and the genius hole and things like that. So yeah, I'm maybe a little bit bigger fan of Milo than Glendoveer, but Glendoveer's just beautiful. That's where Mount Hood, that's where you're looking at that from. That's off of Glendoveer there.
Yeah, I think it's just prettier, and I think I'm just an aesthetic guy.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it looks like Thursday and Friday they're going to be playing at Milo, and then Saturday and Sunday they're going to be at Glendoveer, and both men and women, same course, same day.
Why?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you that.
I never understood that.
I mean, am I reading that correctly?
Oh,
yeah, I think so.
Well, if that's the case, maybe it's just lack of resources.
Well, yeah, and I'm guessing if you were on two courses, you'd have to have two camera crews. You'd have to have double the officials. So you're probably right. That probably is the main driving force between keeping them all together. But, if they get a rain or get a storm and
that's when it gets
in the dark or whatever, the first thing people will say is split them up, play them opposite courses. So, anywho, now I'm thinking about what you're thinking about. I was thinking about.
All right. Well, let's do it, dude.
Yeah, let's do that thing we do.
Dun, 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 dun. Weekly picks.
All right. You got me last time.
I did. Let me get these pulled up
this time, though. Okay, your pick. Your game, buddy.
All right, you want me to go first?
Well, that's what happens. The winner gets to choose what happens.
Sorry, I've never been here. I don't know what happens here. So let me tell you, Smitty. I'm going to go Shine first. Keep it simple. I'm actually going to pick someone that has not won this year, but I think he gets his first win of the year. We're going to go Vincent Heimberg.
Yeah, Vinny's always a safe pick.
Yeah, it's
safe. Go that way.
Yeah, and it's not like a Gannon or a Rick or ultra conservative. I think
just the next step below Gannon.
Exactly.
So it's not a softball. It's not a T-ball. It's a softball.
Well, what are you doing then?
I'm going with somebody who hasn't won this year either.
Okay.
In fact, they're trending the right direction. But I'll give you a clue. I love you, Portland!
Simon?
Eagle McMahon.
Oh, is he the one that said that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He may have been saying it after Simon said it. But yeah, the Bird got 10th in Portland and 12th at the Beaver State Fling last year. And he's trending up, dude. And he looked pretty good at times on that last event. And I think he's bound to pop off, and I hope this is it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he is someone I was looking at for Shine as well, so I'm sure you're very thankful I didn't choose him.
Yes, sir. All right, my turn?
Yeah, which direction do you want to go?
I'm going Stanker. And this guy is going to stink. It's going to be terrible for him. Terrible. He finished 31st last year at Portland, 34th last year at Beaver State. Do we have the same guy?
We might.
That sucks. He's averaging
I didn't write my stats
19th
down
this year in
Okay.
Disc Golf Pro Tour finishes. He just played like absolute crap in the Czech Republic, and he's flying back today to try to get back to tee off on Thursday in Portland. Ezra Aderholt.
We do not have the same guy. We do not have the same guy.
It is going to be a tough turnaround, I think, to finish up that tournament, do whatever you got to do, get on a plane, get home, get your body a little bit acclimated, because I would guess that those guys are tired as heck right now trying to catch up. And I don't know. I can't imagine you can just fly right back to this time zone and be fixed.
Yeah, the jet lag is a real deal, and he did play really bad over there. So I don't hate that pick. I just don't think he is high enough for me to like love the pick, because I think he could finish 30th in this tournament, and then that's only nine spots different than where his average finish is.
11, but
Oh, what'd you say, 19th?
yeah.
Okay, I thought you said 21st. All right, well, regardless, I am going to be on Roadhouse alert for sure. There's no question about it. You don't? No, we're not going that crazy. But Smitty, this might surprise you, but this guy sucked at both of these events last year, and he's a really good player. And when I say good, one of the best. But listen to this, Smitty. Last year, Portland Open, 44th. Last year, Beaver State, 61st. And this is a premier player, but he kind of falls off around this time of year. Maybe it's just those courses. I'm going to go Anthony Barella. Woo! I can hit big here, though, but I could also lose my booty.
You're an idiot.
Smitty, did you have any idea that he finished so low at those two last year, though? That's crazy.
I do remember. Well, I remember he won a whole bunch early, and then he just, tanked a little bit. But I don't know, man.
Tough to bet on him doing that again, but still. Fingers crossed, AB.
Hard to bet against that guy ever.
For sure.
All right. Well, that leaves you with the sleeper.
All right. And I think you already know where I'm going. He's back in his neck of the woods. He's my guy. Did you pick him too?
Yes.
Well, you should know, Smitty. You know who I'm going to go with. This is your fault. If you want to choose someone else, that's fine.
I'm going
But I got to go with my guy. This is my boy. He's not going to win, but he's going to be up there. Cole Radalin, Smitty. You laughed after this one? You hated that pick that much?
Well, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I'm back. Yeah, I was looking at Cole. He did play really well at Portland. He got second.
Yep, he did.
So, well, crap.
So I was going to say at Beaver State.
Give me Bob Burridge.
He was 34th. Okay, Bob. All right.
Actually, no.
Oh my gosh, Smitty! I already feel like this is illegal.
What?
You can't claim someone. You can't claim someone and then takesy backsy.
I'm doing that because you took my pick. I'm takesy backsy twice here. I'm going to go with guys having a terrible season.
All right.
Absolutely terrible. I have no idea what his average finish is. It's got to be in the 30s somewhere. The dude changed his name, stopped wearing his signature hat, and stopped playing like he was last year. Yeah. Joseph Anderson, formerly Buckets.
Yeah, so he is this year right at 24th, surprisingly.
He can do better than that.
Yeah. So, all right.
Crap. If Cole wins, I'm going to be pissed.
I will say if Cole wins, it'll be my crowning achievement because, and it will mostly be because I just want Ronnie to be wrong about Cole. That's it.
I don't think he's going to be.
Come on, Cole, do it for me, baby.
It's going to be hard to win out there.
All right, Smitty, do you want to take a look back at the first of this year when we had all of our picks? We brought some people onto the show and we said, hey, tell us about who you think's going to be the ultimate shine this year, who's going to really play better than they did last year. We also asked people to tell us who they think is going to be really bad compared to the play that they had last year. And everyone gave some picks, and it's time to check mid-season how these folks are doing with their picks. You ready for this?
I'm as ready as I'm going to be.
Okay. All right, let's pull this bad boy up, Smitty. So you and I got into the action, and I have the stats here. You don't. So you talk to me about how you feel like your picks are doing. The one on the left is the one that you thought was going to be doing a lot better than they did last year. The one on the right is who you thought was not going to have as good a year.
Yeah. Well, Goose pulled the wool over my eyes when he was over there in New Zealand. Had that one good tournament, and I was all excited for him. He has been hot garbage most of the year. So that one stings me. That might be the worst pick of out of all of these. We'll have to see. And Gannon, he's having a fantastic season. At this point, it's not as good as it was last year, but it's still an amazing season. So, in fact, I think his worst finish last year was 13th. And the worst he's finished this year was at chess.com. I think he got just out of the top 10, maybe 12th, but it wasn't 13th. So on some fronts, he might be playing better than he was last year. He just hasn't won everything yet.
Yep, and we're taking majors out here just for quick, easy standings. And this is just really their average finish. So this is, I think, a really good way to kind of compare last year versus this year so far. So, Smitty, last year, Goose finished 21st. He averaged 21st on the finish. This year, he's averaging 33.
That's better than I thought it might be.
Yeah, 33rd. So only 12 spots worse, but it is worse for someone that you thought was going to have a really good season. But I agree, he tricked me too.
He just is so amazing off of the tee.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And then Gannon, last year, 4.2 was his average finish. Crazy. This year, 4.6. So it is worse by 0.4.
Yeah. Pick it up, kid.
All right. How do you think I did with Bob and Proctor?
I think Bob is you were for sure he was going to play a lot better with DD than Lone Star. And he's another one that looked really good before the season started. We haven't seen or heard too much of him. He's made a few appearances here and there. I think he's probably playing a little bit better than he did last year, but not as much as you had hoped.
Yep. And then Proctor?
Well, we're not going to be able to even talk about him because he's been hurt most of the year. So he's definitely playing worse than he was last year, but
it's a great
we got
pick,
to attribute that to being hurt. No, you can't have a great pick because some guy got hurt.
Well,
disqualified.
I don't think so. But Bob, average finish, 43rd last year. Average finish this year, 45th. He's actually 2 spots worse.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Bob. I cursed you, homie. And then Proctor, though, average finish 30th last year. Average finish this year, 68th. Wow, what a pick, Lucas.
Yeah.
38 spots worse.
Take the guy whose arm didn't work.
Let's go. Smart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what a jerk. All right. Clankers. This guy was terrible.
Well, Q came in and he was given some very hot takes.
Yes, he was.
So he chose Kona and Macbeth.
He said Kona was going to play in a final lead card at Worlds. You know what, though? I'll bet she's playing as good, if not better, than she did last year. I just have a feeling. She hasn't had any horrendous finishes this year. But Beast is definitely playing better this year than last. And Quentin pretty much said Paul Macbeth was washed up, gone, has been.
Yeah, he did. He really laid it on heavily, both sides. He was adamant about his picks. And let's see how he's doing, Smitty. Kona Montgomery, average finish last year, 23rd. This year, average finish, 27th. 4 spots worse.
It's about the same.
Paul Macbeth, average finish last year, 22nd. Average finish this year, 5th.
Yeah. Yeah, way to go, Q.
Top 5 finish. Yeah. Every tournament, basically, for that washed up has been.
Had shot to win all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and then Sean, he had a lot of faith in old Raven Newsom here. And he was pretty sure Rick was going to suck because he'd been with Dynamic Disc for so long. 2 years.
Well, and before, too.
Well, it was with Latitude, and then he was with
Nineveh,
and then he was with DD. And maybe somewhere else in between, I don't know. But I have no idea about Raven Newsom. I usually don't scroll that far down the leaderboard. And he definitely hasn't been on coverage. So
you'd have to do some scrolling looking at these numbers.
And Rick is, if he's worse, it's not by much. I think it's probably better or the same because he's been in contention a lot as well.
Let's look at this. So Raven Newsom, you're right. We're scrolling here. Average finish 47th last year.
Oh, he's worse, isn't he?
Average finish this year 57, 10 spots worse. So Sean not trending in the right direction. And then let's also look at Ricky. Average finish 6th last year, but average finish this year is 13th.
Oh, wow.
So surprising, Ricky is as where he is. And let me double check that number because I feel like it's wrong. And who knows what type of sleep I was getting when I did this, but I'm going to just double check. All right. So this year, average finish 13. So it's real. It is real, Smitty.
Well, that will probably change.
Yeah, probably. We are mid-season, but so far, Sean 1-1, Clanker 0 for 2. Big misses.
All right. Loff had some pretty decent picks. He went with Kyle Klein having a better year and Joey Buckets Anderson having a worse year. Once we never know what Kyle has done, is doing, or will do.
It's so real. It's so true.
But I feel like he's probably the same, or he had a good showing at Open at Austin. Is that where he was in the mix? Yeah, he was on final card there, I think. Yep. And I think he's probably better. I think Locke might be right.
Okay.
And Buckets is definitely worse.
I will tell you, what's hilarious to me is how we see things. Because everything that you've said so far, Smitty, I have agreed with you exactly. And it's just like our perception. But listen to this. So Kyle Klein, you're right. He was 18th last year, 7th this year. So he's definitely trending in the right direction for Loff. But Buckets was 25th last year. He's actually averaging 24th this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll bet the reason is we just didn't know Joey Buckets last year. And when he kind of splashed on the scene and got on some lead cards where name recognition, we're like, oh, who's this guy? We got to check him out. So, yeah, crazy.
Now we just expect it. And if he's not in the top 10, we're just like, oh, he's not doing anything.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Good picks, Loft. Loft's probably our leader in the clubhouse right now.
He got both. Well, yeah. No. Because Buckets is doing better than he was doing last year by one.
So he's a one, but he's closest to being correct.
He is very close to having both.
I had a 1-1, but mine was one of them was quite a bit off, I think.
Yeah, 21 to 33rd.
Yeah. All right, Cooey. Cooey went with Evan Smith having a better year, and he's kind of like Buckets. We just didn't really know. We didn't even know who he was last year. We couldn't figure out if he was Evan Smith or Evan Scott or whoever that other one was. There was three of them we didn't know.
Evan Scott, Evan Smith. There's one other one. Gosh, why can't I think of it either? Anyways, Aiden Scott.
Yeah, there you go. So we didn't know for sure, but he did play well. He got some coverage last year, so we were introduced to him. But now that we talked about this on Loft's picks, I'm wondering if we maybe going to get caught in that same trap based on, great season last year, but maybe he only popped off once or twice. Little Nick is definitely not doing worse. Little Nick putting up a showing that could possibly win him Player of the Year if he continues.
Yeah.
He did have one stinker this week that might kill him, but so I'd say that I'm just going to go out on a limb and say Evan is the same and Little Nick is better.
Okay. All right, here we go. Evan Smith, 23rd finish last year. Average finish. This year, 14th, Smitty. What's he doing? Where's he coming from? Why have I not seen his face one time? And Lil Nick, average finish last year, 20th. Average finish this year is actually 19th.
Wow.
And so he got 45th at the Supreme Flight Open and then 28th at the Cascade.
And then a couple of wins.
And then 2 wins and a 19th place finish. So he's kind of either all glory or somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Wow. Good picks, Cooey.
Yeah. So Cooey
and Loffer right there.
Yep. Loff had a 11 point difference, and Cooey had a 9-point difference as far as the average finish. So, yeah, they're very, very good. But Cooey they only have one right on each. Can we have our first 2-righter? It's one of these.
Jose. I watched the video again. I still don't know who Jose picked. I don't know if he picked Rick or Paul for having a better year. And he followed my advice and went with Gannon for a worse year. So, yeah. But the one thing I do know about Jose is I laughed at him and said, those two guys will never be in the same place intentionally. And they made a stinking practice video together.
Yeah.
They're best friends now. Way to go, Jose, on that. So, yeah, we've already talked about all 3 of these guys. So,
yeah. So, but whoever Jose picked, both. So, if he picked Paul 22nd last year, 5th this year, definitely trending up. So he's right there. But if he picked Rick, 6th last year, 13th this year, so worse. So we're going to give him the Rick pick. Oh, he did. Okay. So if that's the case, then that's a really good pick. And then with Burr, he is trending in the right direction. 4.2 last year, 4.6 this year, so a little bit worse. So that's our first 2-banger.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because the Knopfer's going to blow him out of the water here. Because Knopf went Ezra and a buffed out Chris Dickerson.
Yeah, what's that about?
Well, we couldn't let Ezra be the only one flexing. So
I see.
I got on Dickerson's Facebook, and this is when him and Brittany were in Tahiti a couple of summers ago. So, yeah. No, I think Ezra probably is having a better year. He's had 2 shots at winning that the final round cost him. I don't know if he laid any eggs until this weekend, though. So I feel like Ezra's probably playing better, and Dickerson is for sure worse than he was last year.
All right, here we go, Smitty. Ezra last year, 38th average. This year, averaging 19th.
Mm-hmm.
So great pick there by Knopf. Dickerson, though, 12th last year, average finish, 16th average finish this year. So Knopf also getting both correct. Good work.
Yeah.
Probably the best of the bunch, honestly.
Yeah, for sure, so far.
But wait, we have one more. Is it Shafe?
Yeah. Well, he went KJ USA. And it wouldn't be too hard for KJ to have a better season than he had last year, because he had a pretty rough one. But he's not having a great season this year either. He's not having the season he had 2 or 3 years ago. So, which is unfortunate, because I like when he's playing well.
Yeah.
And he said Anthony would do worse, and he probably is worse at this point.
All right, here we go, Smitty. KJ USA, 45th last year, 38th this year. Good job, Shafe. And then AB, 20th last year. Average finish was 20th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so his average finish this year is 9th, so he's definitely doing better so far. But this is the stretch last year where he started kind of falling off.
Not this year.
I need him to at least this next tournament.
Ain't happening. Is not happening.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, and I think we're about a third of the way through.
Yeah.
So, do we have survivor picks?
We don't. So if you want to see the survivor picks, you can follow the Win Dummies podcast, and we will be sharing those later this week.
Oh, boy.
But we didn't get them in time, so we're not going to get to do them live.
Bummer.
I know. Got
All
busy, and then we started. Then we are recording this a day earlier too, so I didn't really have a chance to get a hold of people.
Right on. Well, we'll get it out there.
Yeah, we sure will.
So, you survivor people, make those picks. Make bad ones too.
Yeah, make terrible ones.
I don't even remember who I picked.
I'd say go with Ezra Aderhold.
Huh. Right. Pick my stink.
Yeah.
Pass. All right. Well,
do we have anything else?
just one more thing.
All right, tell me about it.
All right, I guess I will. Welcome to Big Deal, the segment of the show where Lucas takes a deep dive into things that everyone is talking about. Maybe. Whether they deserve the hype and truly are a big deal, or are just total overblown, yeah, big deal, bro. Get ready for some hot takes, sarcastic commentary, and a little bit of drama. Because in this segment, we'll decide whether it really is a big deal. You ready, big boy?
I'm ready.
I think you're going to like it. Did you peek?
I did not.
We got some rule changes coming up.
Oh.
Some possible rule changes. But
Tell me more.
The way they're going to break them to the public is a little different. They're not going to just come out with a normal old announcement on their website that nobody looks at and then halfway understands. Instead, the first group or the first podcast they're going to share these rules with is the Nick and Matt show. And Nick and Matt are going to break down the rule. Nick Stagger Stance, are going to break down the suggested changes and just kind of give their opinions on them. And I don't know if the PDJ is going to watch and listen and see what's going to happen. But Robert Leonard's going to be on the show and talk about the proposed changes. Big deal? Or, yeah, big deal, bro.
It's just interesting. That's just a really strange way to do it. I don't know how to feel. I will say I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's just a big deal, bro, for me. I don't get it. Smitty. Why are they doing it? I don't love this. So they're going to just talk about it and maybe, I guess, hear people's opinions and comments and then see if they want to continue to do with it. Don't they know that the people watching that show, like, they don't speak for everyone? I just think that's a weird platform to do it on. And I'm not a huge podcast watcher anyway, so I don't know. I think it's just strange. What do you think? I guess I need to know your opinion here, and so you can tell me how to feel.
Well, I don't know exactly how I feel about it either. I don't know if they already have their answer in their pocket and they're just waiting, and if all these podcasts debate it and they're on the same side as the rule, yeah, that's what we're going with. Or what if it's the opposite? What if everybody hates the idea and they're sitting on this, whatever they think is a good idea, timeout in play? If you're going to get called for a time violation, you call timeout. Maybe that's their deal. Everybody hates that. And then they say, well, that is kind of stupid. And they switch it up. I don't know. So, yeah, I think I'm also kind of a big deal, bro.
Don't they have their own committee that kind of talks these things out? Like, it's such a weird choice of show. There's
multiple podcasts that are gonna. I don't know if they're gonna get different rules or if they're all gonna get the same rules. But there's multiple shows that are gonna release the rules.
I mean, I guess they're trying to get with the times is maybe something they're trying to do, but big deal, bro, to me. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not going to matter in my mind what people say. They're going to come out with what they want to come out with.
Probably so.
Unless there's a huge uproar that something is really, really dumb. And I don't think the PDGA has ever done something that is that stupid where, like, they have to amend it immediately. So I think, I don't think it's a big deal. So big deal, bro.
Right. I guess we'll see how it goes. I'll be watching. I want to see what it is.
Yeah, let me know how it goes. I won't be. All right, shout-outs for the week, Smitty.
Oh, yeah, of course. Damon for inviting me down to Miltonville to do the payout and run the tournament. I think this is our 5th or 6th year that I've helped him out. Obviously, everybody that helped me get the stuff out of the truck, there was a lot of people, and then you guys for the Disc and Deals crew for helping me out at the end, getting the scorecards written so I can kind of talk.
You're a one-man show. It stresses me out watching you just have to do it all yourself. So you didn't even ask us, really. We just kind of started doing stuff.
Well, I've done it for a long time solo, so. But yeah, it does take a lot off my plate when you guys did that for sure. And then everybody who I talked to over the weekend that either quoted something off of this show or out of our commentary or just talked to me about it. It's fun to know that people are actually watching and we're entertaining people more in our commentary, I think, than in this show. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, you say some things in commentary that most commentators don't say. And people seem to like that, although the one joke in particular that has gotten a lot of traction, a lot of love, has also gotten some hate. Usually I have like 100% like rates on my videos. That one had like an 80%. So I think some people may have not liked it as much. But you know what? That's okay, because that's who we are. I mean, that's just part of our channel, the way that we operate. So I wouldn't have you change the way that you are for commentary ever. So you just keep being you, brother.
Sounds groovy to me. What about you? You got any shout outs?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to my crew, both Sean, Aiton, and Brandon Knopf. Those boys, they do so much for me. I can't ever express into words how much I genuinely appreciate their generosity. They do all of this coverage for me without asking for anything, Smitty. They don't get anything extra. I try to pay for their meals. I try to pay for rooms to stay. But other than that, they just get to hang out, and it's just them being along for the ride. And that's hard to find in people. And they do it gladly. And I continue to thank them. And they continue to say the same thing, that they are just on the ride to build something that's important. And I think it's awesome. It's just they're the greatest. So have to shout them out. And honestly, same for you with commentary, right? I think a lot of people get paid for commentary. Do you? No, you don't ever ask for anything. The only thing you've ever mentioned, you just said, "Hey, when you make it big, just remember me."
And give me a pair of those shoes.
Yeah, and you got shoes. That's more Caden than me. But yeah, so I appreciate you too, brother.
Yeah, thanks. I just do it because it's fun. So
yeah, and
as soon as it's not fun, I'll be done.
All right. Well, let's keep making it fun. Let's keep letting you have free reign to say stupid things.
We can reel in a little if we need to.
Nah.
All
right, everyone. Thanks so much for watching this episode 62 in the books. We'll catch you next Tuesday as we break down the Northwest Disc Golf Championship and see how our picks did. Until then, take care. Bye-bye now.